Okay, so I'm going to start talking about the top of the table now. I'm going to start off with City's draw with Southampton down at St Mary's. Obviously watch this game. I'm a City fan. I watch every City game if I can. The game started off pretty much to form, I would say. City were, looking like they were going to press Southampton back, and obviously had a chance where Sterling just really scuffed his pass to Bernardo Silva. I think it was Bernardo Silva anyway, running into the box. 30 seconds later, the ball's in the back of City's net with a great Walker Peters strike. He finished it really well. I must say, he got there was a little bit too much space on that side of the pitch. No tracking back there from Foden or Grealish. I think we're missing in action there a little bit. Results in that goal. But it's a fine finish, and Southampton actually played very well. I'll give them the credit. They played exceptionally well. They did not sit back and defend. Although towards the end of the second half, they were retreating back a little bit, I think, trying not to concede before half time. That in a way presented a chance for Sterling at some point in the first half, which one-on-one with the keeper, he's and less than 6 yards out, he's hit it straight at Forster, and it's a shocking miss, really. Not a lot of City fans were best pleased with that, I can tell you. Although some people have defended him and said, actually, that's not really his skill set. That's not where he scores goals when he's got time to think about it. Which he did. He had so much time, and the ball came through with a few players. Making excuses for me, really, aren't I? He should have scored it. He should definitely have scored it. Southampton, the second half again. Southampton did not sit back. They came out after the break, having not conceded before half time, and sort of like carried on in the vein that they had done after they scored the goal. Played really well. Sometimes denying City possession, which City are used to so much possession. But then in the end, the juggernaut started rolling for City, and I think the possession stats went from sort of like nearly even Stevens to sort of like 80% to City very quickly. During that time, City got their equaliser. Good ball in from De Bruyne. After a foul on the right side of the pitch, headed in by Laporte. If you're a Southampton fan, you'd probably say, why has no one picked him up? City are pretty good at that. It's a pretty accurate ball, and they're good at having lots of runners going different ways and causing confusion in defence. And, it's a good equaliser. Yes, City looked like the more likely after that, I think. There was a bit of a shout for a penalty. VAR looked at it, said it was a foul, but it was outside the area. It was a foul the referee didn't give. We've had one of those before this season. One or two of those before this season. Right on the edge of the area. It's marginal. It's very marginal for me. If you're a City fan, you'd probably say it's on the line and therefore in. And if you're a Southampton fan, you say it's definitely outside. Yep, there's another controversial moment was a little bit of a high foot. Armstrong on Laporte. It's above the knee where he makes contact. Now, for me, I wouldn't have liked to have seen that as a red card. I wouldn't, because I don't think he's really got in with the intention of causing any damage. But in a matter of consistency, John Stones did get sent off for something very similar against Villa last season. So it's really just about the consistency of that. If they're going to look at that and say, well, that's not one, then you've got to be consistent. We've said this time and time again about VAR. They're constantly inconsistent with their decisions. Consistent and being inconsistent. That's what VAR is like. There's obviously another incident we'll talk about later on today. It's shocking, really. It's shocking. This is what they're paid to do. They're paid to make sure that decisions are fair, and there's almost like a standard that is adhered to, and they constantly change it. I'm not going to go on about that too much because I don't think it really changed the game in any way. Southampton thoroughly deserved their point, and I'm going to finish on that. So just a few other things about City. Actually, they've there's been heavy rumours here that Alvarez is from River Plate, the Argentinian. He's 21. He's made 5 appearances for Argentina already. Called the Nets Kun Aguero. You know, I don't like it when players get compared to legends, you know, that early in their career. But, you know, he looks a decent striker. I've heard that Vlahovic is also holding out against Arsenal. Arsenal put in a bid that's essentially been accepted by Fiorentina, and he's holding back because he's waiting for a bid to come in from City. I don't know if that's because there is a negotiation going on between City and his people, or whether or not that's just he's listening to the rumours and and this is another rumour on top of those ones. This looks like City are essentially trying to resolve their number 9 problem, or the lack of a number 9, which may have shown a little bit in the Southampton game. Alvarez wouldn't be coming, and it's reported he wouldn't be coming until June, or maybe even after the World Cup. It's likely as well at that age you probably go out to on loan somewhere, maybe to one of the other clubs in the City group. Vlahovic probably would get straight in on what he's done so far in Serie A. But you know, are City really going to sign a number 9, or are they waiting for the summer? Are they going to sign Haaland? I don't know. It's rumours at the moment, but you know, some of these rumours have got a bit more foundation than others, I think. Certainly the Alvarez one, without a doubt. So moving on to Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, played today. Liverpool win out 3-1 winners in that game. 2 early, first half goals, an early goal from Van Dijk, and Oxlade-Chamberlain scoring, I think, in 30 odd minute. Looked like it was all pretty much going to go Liverpool's way. Palace bring one back from Edouard, and all of a sudden it's game on. And from reports, I haven't seen the game, but from the reports I've heard, it is actually, you know, Liverpool clinging on by the fingernails almost at certain points in that game. Palace have been going really well under Vieira. They've had a few bad results recently, which has kind of dropped them down the league a little bit. They were drawing a lot of games, not losing a lot. Now they've started to lose some of those games. Zaha's away, obviously, at the moment. That's a big miss for them. And, you know, maybe this is the sort of game that they really, you know, really need his talents. Liverpool, obviously, ain't getting a penalty, which is the going back to VAR again. And another. Now, this one I'm going to compare to the one that keeper said was a penalty against City versus Newcastle, where basically Edison goes to the ball, but he's sliding along the ground, and Newcastle player runs into him. The ball's already gone. It's already been controlled and it's been cleared. So there's no way he's going to get to a ball. It's not infringed him in that sort of way. And this is very similar in a way. This one's given, that one wasn't. Again, inconsistency. We need to know what the rules are, or maybe not us, but the people at VAR need to know what the rules are regarding that. Is that a penalty? I mean, they send the referee to look at the monitor today, so it's the referees made the decision actually eventually, not where that didn't happen in the City game. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that the referee can then, you know, almost reverse the decision of VAR, because if VAR tells them to go to the monitor pretty much every single time, that means they're going to change their mind. I've not seen it done the other way in any of these. So maybe they should just make the decision at VAR, not consult the pitch side monitor, if that's going to be the case. Or the referees use their judgment on the pitch side monitor, rather than feeling there's pressure from VAR to make a reversal of their initial decision. So, you know, we don't want the game to slow down too much, so we don't want everything to be referred to the monitor. But, you know, it just seems to me that it's a pointless exercise at the moment, because they don't make a decision based on what they've seen on the pitch and then what they see on the monitor. And everything in slow-mo looks worse. It always looks worse. And you've got to look at things in real time sometimes. Anyway, Liverpool there closing the gap on City to 9 points after City dropping 2 at the weekend. Last week the title race was all over and City have ruined football again because they're buying the Premier League and now it's all back on and Liverpool are breathing down our necks. I don't know how that works with a 2-point difference, 1 game more played, but that's the way the pundits report it. To be honest, City are no more or less worried about Liverpool than they were before the weekend because it's just the end of January and I don't think anyone was thinking that in the City circles was thinking the title race is over. It's absolutely not. You never write off a team like Liverpool. They've got 2 of their most potent forwards out at the moment at the African Cup of Nations, and they're still winning, and still scoring a bunch of goals. You never write Liverpool off. They're a great team, and City are a great team as well. But it's a title race, and a few games here and there where you have a bit of a bad one, you've dropped points like Liverpool and Chelsea did over December. You can find yourself back where you were, to start with, back where back in amongst other people fighting for the same title. It's nonsense. This that 2 points makes a difference between us being title elect, champions elect, and then all of a sudden Liverpool breathing out our necks. Just stupid journalism, really. Anyway, I won't say any more on that. Moving on to Chelsea versus Tottenham. Chelsea basically make short work of Tottenham 3 times in 18 days. No response from Tottenham in terms of goals. Saw the chance that Kane had late on, which probably would have just been a consolation goal. Good header. Kepa hurt his hand actually on the post doing that. But yeah, it's really a non-event, that game for me. It was just so obvious that Chelsea were going to win it because Tottenham have not shown anything really in terms of resistance in the EFL semi-final. And if you go in there and you go into Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea have actually got a lot more maybe to fight for than Tottenham in terms of their league position. Although I think they are a bit out of the title race. I'd said that last week. I thought 13 points was too much to make up. 11 still looks like too much to make up in the games that remain. Tottenham obviously fighting for a top 4 finish, so yes, they have got something to fight for, but maybe a bit disappointed actually as well after losing out to Chelsea in the semi-final. But yeah, they didn't look to have any real cutting edge today, Tottenham. A bit toothless really, as they were in those 2 semi-finals. That's something that Conte needs to address, I guess. Unless they just want to be also-rans this season. They've got good striking position, if you like, from where they are in the table with the points they've got, the game in hand they've got on the teams around them, 2 on Manchester United actually, and 3 on West Ham, 1 on Arsenal. But yeah, they need to start looking like they're going to win games a little bit more now, I think. Seem to have gone off the boil since the new manager came in. Chelsea, look like they were back to somewhere near their best form actually over these games against Tottenham. So I think, as I say, they're out of the title race, but I think they're very strong for finishing 3rd or even 2nd maybe in the Premier League. So definitely Champions League place for them, I would say, at the end of the season.